Hello, my name is Sarah. Welcome to the It is a Sarah podcast. Today it is Monday, March 23, 2026, and in this episode I want to share my handwerk perikelen, that's a Dutch word for my creative adventures from this week with you. I'm coming to you from the Netherlands, so excuse my Dutchy English. I love to knit, I love to crochet, and I love to talk, so that's the perfect combination for making this podcast. I make my episodes in Dutch and in English, so be sure you pick the right one. Subtitles are available on both episodes. If you miss a specific language, please let me know and I will check if I can add it afterwards. After spending weeks starting a ton of new different projects, I'm finally feeling the urge to actually finish some things. But that's going to have to wait just a little longer because first I want to crochet a birthday gift for my little niece, a pink dinosaur. I am crocheting Plod, the African flower Triceratops. Or do you say Triceratops? I don't know anything about dinosaurs. A pattern by Heidi Beers. Since I discovered her patterns like 10 years ago, I already wanted to crochet one of these cute stuffies, but it just never really happened. Until now. Especially for this project, I bought a 1.5mm crochet hook. It is super tiny, but it works totally fine. I'm using the super soft yarn kits I bought and also received from Bregina Tuinstra. She's a Dutch knitting designer and also an online yarn shop owner. I'm knitting the 50 stripes shawl, cowl shawl with it, with this yarn, but I still have more than enough left for another project. So I am mixing the colors I like with the ones that matches my little niece's unicorn taste. I am not really doing any color coordination, but I do try to mix things up as much as possible. Unfortunately, I cannot just keep crocheting. The laundry also needs some folding, but I don't really mind when it's a towels laundry. Over the years, we've collected quite a bunch of towels with fun vintage patterns in thrift stores, and the look of them makes it a little bit more enjoyable to do. I am wearing my Lauder vest today, a pattern by the Crea Bea. The color of this yarn, it is Ulrika Natur by Svarta Farret, is so beautiful. I really love it. Okay, I finished the first step of my crochet project. I need 16 hexagons, so I crochet them. Only the last round needs to be done, but before I will do that, I will do the last round with this yarn and I will crochet the whole thing together as I go. But before I will do that, I want to block those tiny little African flowers. I am crocheting with the super soft yarn. There is still some spin oil in, and I don't think it's an option to block the stuffy when it's finished, so I want to do it now. This African flower, it is a kind of a swatch. It is already blocked. I don't know if you can see the difference. It's a little bit hard to see probably, especially because this is crocheted with another needle. I crocheted this one with a crochet hook, 2mm, a 2mm crochet hook, because that was the smallest one I own. The pattern recommends 1.75mm, and I understand this would be perfect for a blanket or a pillowcase, but you want to have a very tight gauge when you are crocheting a stuffy. So yesterday I went to the store. They didn't have a 1.75 crochet hook, but they did have a 1.5 crochet hook. And because I'm a loose knitter as well, I'm a loose crocheter as well, just like knitting, I thought it would be perfect. The crochet hook is downstairs, but it's really very small. So the gauge is a little bit off, and I think this is better. Yeah, I don't think it's more tighter. But the last round I will skip. This is not a super soft yarn. This is an Istex yarn, Istex Einband, a nice Lendic yarn. And yeah, it's quite forgivable when you are making a stuffy. I noticed when I knitted the rabbits, I really need that because I cannot crochet as neat as the amigurumi lovers, the amigurumi makers. My daughter, she can, but I'm not one of them. So I need forgivable yarn with a little bit of a halo over it. And because it's quite rustic, yeah, I think that's the perfect match for stuffy. The only thing is it's not as soft as the rest of the yarn, but I just didn't have enough of this one. I think it will be okay. I don't know if she will use it as a stuffy or just as something nice to look at. So we shall see. So it's time for your bath. Your small ones, you don't have to. You already have been. Yeah. I already wove in all the yarn ends except the last one because I will crochet it with, away in the last round, so I don't need to weave it in. There we go. Spin cycling doesn't really work with these tiny flowers, so I do it the old school way. I dry them in a towel. I gently step over them a few times to press out as much water as possible, and then I put them on the blocking mat, smooth them a little bit out with my hands and let them dry. That went surprisingly fast. I have in this beautiful project bag, which was gifted to me by a Dutch maker, I have my sock cardigan. It is a project that needs to be fixed. It's waiting for that forever, but I am quite close to finishing. But I have a doubt, or actually I don't think I have a doubt anymore. I think I made my decision already, but I want to show what makes me doubt. So, the problem with my sock cardigan was the neckline. It's a bottom-up raglan cardigan with a high neckline, although the pattern describes a little bit of decreasing, so it's a little bit of a lower neckline than a normal raglan, but still it is on the high side for me, and I also picked a size too small, I guess. So it's really a tight-fitted cardigan. And yeah, I really love the look of it, but it doesn't feel nice to wear it. So I made some adjustments afterwards, and I'm quite close to finishing. So let me show you what my doubt is about. I sticked those parts away, and I think it was already sticked the cardigan, but the neckline was more, let me stand up so you have the better view. The neckline was more a crew neckline. I turned this crew neckline, raglan, do you call it a crew neckline when it's a raglan pattern? I actually don't know, but the high round neckline, I turned it into a V-shaped neckline by cutting some corners away. There were some corners right here. Then I picked up stitches all around, because that's what you do when you make a V-shaped cardigan, for the button band. And I knitted the button band. It's looking a little bit wonky because it's not blocked yet. There are buttonholes in it. So the only thing I need to do is the inside. And I knitted a facing yesterday on one side, and this is the other side. The original cardigan was also sticked already, so you can't really see. Yeah, it's this part. It's this part which I sticked extra. So you can't really see. It was from here, I guess. I think I started from here to there to turn it into a V-shaped cardigan. I always finish my sticked garments with this kind of facing. I really love the nice look of it. It looks very neat. It looks very finished. And that makes me happy, because otherwise it would look like this. I know you have also the option for a ribbon. You can sew a ribbon over it. But I prefer the knitted look. But when I did it yesterday and I was fitting, the disadvantage of this facing is that there is extra fabric. You knit an extra layer. I bound it off. Do you say bound it off, or I did bind off? I bind it off with an I-cord bind off, but that is extra fabric, an extra layer, and that's visible. And because this cardigan is very fitted, it's quite visible. I noticed yesterday, and again, it's not blocked yet, so it will be a little bit better. And most of the time I'm okay with it. I'm wearing one now as well. Let's turn the camera. This one has the same problem. You see it here. I think this is my Calidez vest with my own, no, not my own. I just picked a simple colorwork pattern out of my Vogue knitting book. It was not necessary to stick this garment, I know now, because I never open the buttons. A fake button band would have been better, so I will keep that in mind for the next garment like this. But as you can see, the facing has some extra, add an extra dimension to the garment. And yeah, it looks very nice and neat, especially when you have open-fronted cardigans. But this one, I actually never wear open-fronted. It looks very nice and neat, but there's some extra volume and that's visible. This one is more fitted, so it was even more visible. And I noticed yesterday when I was fitting it that the other sides, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's no volume here. So this is way more flat than this part. It is thick right here. There is a bump. Do you see the bump? There is a bump and it's not right there. And this cardigan I probably will not wear open-fronted. So suddenly a part of me wondered if it wouldn't be better to just skip the facing on the inside, because it may look way better on the inside, but no one other than me will see the inside. And now I've got an error in my head what to do. And I thought I decided, but now I'm talking about it, I still feel some doubt. I am thinking, my first thought was just leave it this way, sew the buttons, block it, or other way around, block it, sew the buttons, and wear it for a few times, and then decide, because it doesn't matter for the process. I can remove this afterwards without disturbing any other things in the cardigan, and I can add this part afterwards if I decide that, without disturbing any parts of the pattern. So that's not a problem. It's totally fine. But the idea that my cardigan looks so messy on the inside, it freaks me out. I got an error. I have an error in my head. What is happening, Sarah? Is it really necessary that the inside looks so nice and neat? And why is it so necessary? Yeah. And what does it tell about me? It is, I am a perfectionist. I really love the perfect finish. But when is the finish perfect? I still don't know. Maybe it was my plan to finish it today. Film it for the English podcast, finish it today and wear it Monday on the Dutch episode, for my Dutch episode. Maybe I need the experience of wearing it. Maybe I need to go back to my first plan, block it, sew buttons on it, start wearing it, and decide afterwards. Okay, doubts. Yeah, I think I will do that. And I will close this one, I think, because all the doubts. I always sew my buttons this way. I make a loop with a strand of yarn and the needle, which fits through the buttonholes. And then let me show it to you. I am not quite sure if this yarn will be too thick because it is the sock yarn. Normally my yarn is a little bit thinner, but we shall try. What I always do with buttons is start from the bottom, don't pull the yarn through, leave the loop right here, and then go back, and then I put my needle in the loop and I can tie it together without making a knot. I try to avoid making knots whenever possible, and because I'm now sewing the button with my yarn held double, I cannot make many stitches, but I think it's okay. The yarn works. I love it when this yarn matches with this yarn. So, and when I finish, I always make a little stitch, and again I go through the loop so that is actually a knot. Most of the time I do it twice. Give it a good snug and then cut the yarn. So that's how I sew my buttons. Okay, my cardigan has buttons. I think it went pretty well. The pattern is still lining up. It was my biggest challenge. The only part is where there is no pattern. This looks a little bit wonky. Yeah, I made the buttonhole quite low, the first one. I don't know if it's caused by that, but yeah, I won't make any changes. Now I will do a quick fit. I'm not wearing the correct outfit for it. Yeah, but I am curious anyway. With not wearing the right outfit, I mean mainly I noticed this cardigan, it's really beautiful. This cardigan is quite fitted. I probably, oh, I'm a little bit low, you can't see my head. I probably should have picked a size bigger. I originally did, but didn't get gauge. Nah, whatever, I made size 1, the smallest size. And I was actually very happy with that, but somehow it feels a little bit too small right now. I gained a little bit of weight since I knitted it, but it's not much. So, and I don't notice it in other garments, so I don't know what it is, but I noticed with a long sleeve under it, it's feeling a little bit too tight. But when I wear it with nothing on my arms, not one layer under it, it's perfectly fine. Maybe it is this way as well. So when I wear a short sleeve, so I will do that tomorrow. And I think it will be better, but I really want to know how it worked out. Also, I'm a little bit afraid. That it didn't solve my problem with the buttons. I already see it. It's pulling too much. It's too tight. I love the V-shaped neckline. But can you see this This is too tight, I guess, so there's too much force on the buttons, the button bands. Maybe. I am wearing 3 layers under it. My dress, my long sleeve, my tank top and the bra. 4 layers right there. So maybe it will be better when I skip some layers. I really feel so much motivation to cast on a new sock cardigan in the right size because it's such a beautiful pattern. I love the color work. I love this design. I love the V-shaped neckline with it as well. And it was actually my plan to turn it into a dropped shoulder sleeve, but maybe I can keep the raglan by just picking a bigger size because I really love the look of it. I really love this part of the motif making a corner, I think. Yeah. I don't think I want to wear it as an open fronted cardigan. I was doubting about that, but I think because it's too tight it will flip too much to the back, although maybe it's not. Maybe it's okay this way, but when I will wear it open fronted I definitely will add facing, because then it's way more visible. And when you wear it close, maybe the buttons are too big. I picked 5 bigger buttons and I thought it would be okay. The V-shaped neckline, it worked out well. When I tried it on the first time, the fabric was not really straight at the sticks, but I think I blocked it out. This side is with the facing, this is without. I think my upper buttonhole is a little bit too big. Fuzzy. Okay, conclusion for this week's episode. I am very happy that my sock cardigan is almost wearable again. I need to check how the buttons will be with only a short sleeve under it. And I am pretty sure I already made my decision about the facing without wearing it, because I thought it would not look nice open fronted, but I think I like the look of this as well. So try it on with a short sleeve, knit facing, cast on a second sock cardigan. It will not happen this week. No, I need to finish some things first. Okay, this was it for this week. Thank you for watching, thank you for being here, and I hope to see you the next time.